Okay, and welcome to the video in electrifying the Doorhofs on our way back from Clara, somewhere around Bordeaux, to the Netherlands. Now, we did a video before and I will link it below, and that was the travel here. Now, I think we learned a lot from that first video, so let's see if the road back goes a little bit better. And remember, the first video was the long, comprehensive review of course, our trip to France. The next one, we don't want to repeat it. It will be shorter, and we just show you if it now all works, or if it's still a nightmare, or if we get towed away, or if we have to dial 911 again. We'll see. Join us for today's episode of Electrifying the Doorhofs. Okay guys, first stop and no power. And just look at this. So you had to identify yourself, and it's just here for already 4 or 5 minutes. Validation, defective, or whatever it says. In other words, it's checking if I'm really who I am, or in other words, if I am allowed to charge here. And that's actually where it crashed. So, first stop, first thing, doesn't work. And look at this. It's the same company again. And the problem is that this is the company where you actually have all your charges almost in France. We do see some other ones, and the weird thing is those work flawlessly. Every time we see one of these, I'm actually terrified that it doesn't work. And as you can see here, it's the freaking first charger we come by, and it doesn't work. This is so frustrating.
Are you gonna call?
And I'm not gonna call anymore, because every time you call, it's like, je ne parle pas anglais, or in other words, we don't speak English, and they don't want to help you, or they don't want to understand English. It's if you don't want to speak French, they don't want to help you. Hey, you're in France, right?
And it's freaking cold.
And it's really cold, it's -1. Okay, so the next one is 21 kilometers further. Okay, because in this area there aren't a lot of chargers, we actually decided to go to a Kia dealer, and that's about 20 kilometers from here, and we have 58 left, 57, and we're just gonna try to charge at the Kia dealer, and we just hope that they don't send us away because we don't have a Kia. On the other hand, who will send us away because the chargers don't work? So let's just hope that it works out. It's an adventure, it's a challenge, it's a little bit of a nightmare. We arrived at the Kia dealer, and you're not gonna believe this. First, on their own parking spot for electric cars, there's a non-electric car. But we try to park our car nicely like this. It's very, very tight. And now we actually find out that the charger is not connected. So they have a charger, but it doesn't give any juice. And to make things even worse, there's nobody inside. It's fermé. So you have to go to another company to actually find the dealer for Kia. So we're now gonna walk there. We're just gonna figure it out, but really, what an adventure. Okay, we finally found somebody. There were 3 people in the Seat garage, because Kia is actually closed. I don't know why, because it's a midday. It's in the middle of the week. And nobody spoke English, they didn't want to speak English, and they replied to me very, very fast, not even slow. There was one solution. Thank you, Google Translate. We literally just typed in, we are in trouble, all chargers are not working from corri-door, and we really need power. We are willing to pay for it, can you please help out? You only need to power on the charger. 5 minutes later, he walked outside, he powered up the charger, and we're now charging. It's a slower charger, so it's about 20 kilowatts, so it takes 64 minutes to get full. We're not going to wait for the full 64 minutes. We're going to see in PlugShare where the closest fast charger is, so 50 kilowatt hours. And as soon as we have enough power, we're going to top up just a little bit more, and then we're actually going to drive to that charger. Wow. Okay, now at the Kia station it was a slow charger, only like 13 kilowatt hours. So we just topped up enough to go to the Lidl, because Lidl has free charging and it's pretty fast. And to be honest, I need something to eat and to drink. So let's go to the Lidl, and there we're gonna charge fully up, and then I hope we don't meet any corridors anymore. But I'm afraid we do, because they are actually all around this place. So at the moment we have with corri-door and a week about 1 in 3 that works without any problems.
Yeah.
So let's hope that now our luck will change. In all honesty, I don't think it's... No. If you want to go to France with an EV, my advice at the moment, don't even think about it. When we get home, I'm lucky if we get home, but if we get home, this was the last time ever I'm going with an EV to France. So rent a car, go with a bike, walk, crawl, train, it doesn't matter, fly in. Don't bring your EV to France. So in the end, we just use now an app to just type in, and I already copy and pasted like all the chargers don't work, please help us out, because I'm afraid we're gonna need that app a lot. Why didn't I think of that yesterday? The day before? Okay, let's continue to Lidl. Okay, and again, Lidl doesn't disappoint. Just connect and it starts charging. So let's go inside and do some groceries. And that's the smart thing, of course, because if you're charging here, you also do your groceries. So that's cool. And don't walk further back in a week because you almost hit a car. And with our luck, okay, let's go in. This is actually the charger where they didn't tow us, but where they actually brought us yesterday. So they escorted us through the tunnel over here because the other charger on the other side didn't work. We had to call 112 or 911 and they brought us here. So this one should work. On the other end, let's see if it really works. But yesterday it worked.
The day before yesterday, you
The
mean?
day before yesterday, of course, yes. Okay, this is also a little bit tricky over here. You have to move it around. There we go. It's now checking my identity, if I'm really frank. Accept. Okay, take the charger out. Put it in. Okay, press OK. Combo. And there we go. So let's hope it starts. But again, this one worked yesterday, so I guess we're fine. And here we'll top off to 100% and then we go to the next one.
Confirmé.
Oh, confirmé, yes. And there we go. Okay, let's go inside. One of the benefits of charging your EV is that you actually have time to edit the vlog for you guys. Okay, charging and it works. So about 40 minutes and then we continue our journey. Okay, another stop and it seems that we're lucky now because this one also works. So we're now charging for about 20 minutes and then up to the next one. Okay, our luck ran out again. We are now at one of the parking stations and these supposed to be compatible with New Motion, which we have, but whatever you do, doesn't work. Luckily we have more than enough juice for the next one, so we're gonna try to get to that one, but this is again one that doesn't work, that's supposed to work. And we use an app, so somebody actually emailed me like, Frank, there's an app and you can see if something works. This one's supposed to work, supposed to be compatible with New Motion, and it just isn't. Okay, because that one didn't work, we now have 73 kilometers left and it's about 60 kilometers to drive, so we are gonna end up with probably 10 kilometers left. I'm just hanging behind a truck in its slipstream, so that will save a lot of energy, so it will be okay. But this is why I constantly stress, don't drive your car empty. Now in the Netherlands I have no problem with Fastnet to drive my car empty because we literally almost never had a charger that didn't work or that wasn't there. In France, don't drive your car empty because you will absolutely regret it, as you can see in these videos. It's now just driving behind the truck. There was two options. Go back 40 kilometers, which we would easily get, or to a Lidl, or get forward 60 kilometers with about 14-50 kilometers left. So we choose for forward and just drive a little bit slower, like 90 or 80, and then we'll get there. Again, if you're watching this, this is not the fault of the car, this is not the fault of DIV or electric driving. It's pure the fault that the infrastructure just isn't clear. chargers don't work or chargers don't accept your card, while in the app it says it does. So it's not the fault of the EV, but it's very frustrating. Okay, charging, and again we're actually on the other side of the road, because on that side of the road where we're supposed to be, the charger is defective. So now the next stop is about, I believe, 35-40 minutes. Then we're going to charge up again for 70 kilometers, and then we're going to jump over Paris, we hope. So join us. Okay, we just left the site of this charger. On the app it was available, but when we arrived it was a big building pit and you couldn't reach the charger because there were trucks and there were gates and it was just impossible to reach. So 300 meters further there's another charger on the other way of the road, on the other side of the road. What we now have to do is drive actually 27 kilometers, so approximately 13 that way and 14 back, to get to the charger, and that means that we lose another 45 minutes of our time. It's gonna be really late before we're home, but we continue. Guys, I really don't know what's going on, if I'm cursed or if this car is haunted, but we're now on the other side of the road. So on the other side of the road there was this huge building pit, remember? And you couldn't reach the chargers. Now we're on this side of the road, and look, there's a huge building pit. It's like a deja vu, and you can't reach the chargers. We only have 33 kilometers left. There's no charger anywhere near 33 kilometers. And the week is now going inside to see if there is a charger that maybe we miss. In other words, maybe we don't see it, but we already drove around 2 times. And otherwise, we have to call 911 or 112 again. It feels like a bad joke, really. I lost all my humor at this moment. This is so frustrating. Okay, Hyundai, the Netherlands, compliments again. They're gonna bring in a tow truck and they're gonna tow us off, because again we can't go anywhere, so we have to wait to maximum an hour. So we're gonna grab something to eat and go to the restroom and just wait for the tow truck. Okay, we used the Translate app and we actually asked one of the girls from the restaurant if they can call 112, because giving an address in France, if you don't speak any French and 112 doesn't speak any English, it's really difficult. So they're now gonna call 112 for us, and then we have to wait for the tow truck. Luckily, we're inside in a restaurant. Okay, let's take a little bit of a look at the app. This is the iPhone app and there are no chargers. This is Charge Map on Android, and you can see that the chargers are actually out of commission. But when we go to PlugShare, both are actually in commission. So, well, you also can't trust the apps, I see. Okay, we arrived at the garage. There's only one problem. We're about 8.9 kilometers away from a charger now. The only problem is, you guessed it, it's a corri-door charger, and according to the app, it doesn't work. It keeps repeating itself. Now, the other charger is on the other side of the road, and that is supposed to work, but that's 50 kilometers drive. However, these guys can probably go to a service tunnel. So they're now actually checking if that's possible, and then they're gonna drop us off at that charger. Otherwise they have to drive 50 kilometers extra. It's an adventure. Isn't it wonderful? Okay, so we told the guys that the charger on this side of the road was defective and the charger on the other side worked. And they still dropped us off at this charger. Now he's a little bit pissed off, I think, because I told him the charger is defective. And he tells me, no, your car is defective. So I showed him the app. He still says, no, your car is defective. So went inside, called Hyundai, and Hyundai speaks French. And they explained to him, bring him to the other side of the road. I showed him an app where you can actually see that on one side of the road the charger works and on the other side it doesn't. It began very friendly, but now he's a little bit annoyed with me. So I don't think we're allowed in the truck anymore. So we're in our car on top of the truck and he's going to drive us to the other side. I already told him I still have 28 kilometers left so I can drive, but no, stay in your car. So we'll see what happens. If you don't hear from me anymore, then you probably don't see this video because I can't edit it. So that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, it's the adventure continues. I hope you like this episode. And if you don't, I don't know what's wrong with you. Because although we don't think it's funny, within a week we're going to laugh about this and hard. Believe it or not, other side of the road, the charger didn't work on our new motion pass. We tried it 3-4 times. The new motion pass did work on the other side, but it didn't start to charge. The new motion card doesn't work on this side. And we actually now just gave in and we bought a €20 charging card. Twice before you dive into that water. And that one just worked immediately, and the guy actually told me he didn't believe me, but now he does. So France is not ready for an EV. We're now going in. We lost about 5.5 hours and we drove about 150, 200 kilometers extra due to all this stuff. I think we're gonna find a hotel, call it quits for today, cancel my appointments for tomorrow and just drive home tomorrow. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. To be continued. And now it charges. Good side. Let's go inside. It's incredibly cold. By the way, really, Hyundai, you are amazing. The guys just keep calling us back. They help us out in French. They don't take no for an answer. They want us to arrive in our location. Hyundai, amazing service. Okay, probably the final charge for today. We're 40 kilometers from Paris and we still have 57% left, but I want to charge up because I don't trust the chargers anymore. So every charger, we're now just going to charge up and top up, and we're not going to skip any charges unless they're like 20 kilometers away. So, and after Paris, we're going to find a hotel, but I want to leave Paris because I don't want to be stuck in Paris traffic tomorrow. But Brussels, we're not going to do anymore because it's already like 12 o'clock when we're done here. So we're going to find a hotel. We woke up in a hotel in, well, a little bit above Paris. Now, if you think that this trip we only had problems with the car, listen to this. Yep, that's been going on all night. So, although we are rested, this is not a trip to remember. Although we loved hanging out with Bruce, of course, but the trip to and the trip back is absolutely not something that we're gonna remember as a pleasant experience. But hey, we're almost home, only about 3.5 hours to go normally, so we're gonna add 2 hours for charging. And should we add 6 hours for problems? No, we expect to be home before, let's say, 4 o'clock, Christmas, whatever. Okay, guys, so join us for the last leg of our journey. Oh, and we're really lucky, we don't have to fly. Listen. And no, it's not what you think. It's actually my toothbrush.
No, it's mine.
It's Ioniq's toothbrush. I really think we're haunted.
There's something about you. You don't care about what you do. You gotta give a little, just to get a little, or you'll never find success. If you don't give a little, just to get a little, no one's gonna hold you back.
Hey, we're charging at station 1 and in between having a nice breakfast with Ioniq in the car. And the reason we do this is really close to the hotel, but we want to build in safety. So we're charging here while we still have more than enough juice, and then we can actually jump to the next one. And if we miss that, we still have more than enough juice to go to the other one. And if that one doesn't work, well, let's hope that doesn't happen again, because now we're very close to, where are we close to? Probably to the border from Belgium, about 200 kilometers. So let's hope that we can get over the border with only one more stop. And we actually bought this one because we had some problems with our new motion droplet. And believe it or not, this charger didn't accept the card. So we tried with the droplet, and the first time we tried it, we got a communication error. That freaked me out a little bit because we only have 65 kilometers left and the next charger is like 50 away. But I didn't give up, I tried again and now it's charging. So it's a little bit flaky, but at least this one charges. It's drawing approximately 30 kilowatts, so it's not really fast. But in about 28 minutes we can continue our journey.
And it's really cold outside.
It's incredibly cold. That's why we filmed this inside. There's a lot of wind and it's like -2 degrees, so it's a little bit chilly, so I'm not gonna film outside. Okay, I'm afraid disaster continues. After about 2 minutes, charging complete. And trust me, it's not complete by far. So we're gonna try it again. Oh man. Okay. At least this one can also do it in English. Here, 3 minutes, 2 kilowatt hours, 42 minutes, and it says charging complete. Now it gives a red error. Now it's blue again, so let's try it again. Let's do combo, batch.
We are lucky that we waited in the car this time.
Yeah, normally we go out for some shopping or some other stuff to do.
Toilet.
Okay, come on. Identification. Okay. Connect. You can't do anything wrong. This is not freaking rocket science. Okay, there we go. Initializing. It's now running through all the checks. It's pre-charging. And now it's charging. Okay, let's wait and see how long it now charges. We can now officially say that this was the last charging point in France.
Yay!
So, we're now going to go to Belgium, and it's also with the quick chargers, by the way. In the Netherlands and Belgium, they're often 50 kilowatt hours. Here you find a lot of quick chargers that do around 40, 30, 20. So I'm really looking forward to going to the quick chargers again. So, up to Belgium. Okay, first charger in Belgium, and the first thing that I actually noticed, and this is something that I was wondering if it was just me or my droplet from New Motion, is in France, when you see me doing the connecting, you see me moving it around, right? Because it doesn't fit and sometimes it works and you have to move it around and try it again. This is the first charger out of France, so in Belgium. You just hold it in front and it immediately works. It could be my mind, but I just find it weird that this whole week I've been trying to figure out how to hold my droplet, if it just didn't work or it didn't pick up right away. And the first charger out of France, you hold it in front and it works. Could be my mind, but I never experienced it before this trip. Okay, we're drawing about 46, it's now actually dropping. It topped out at about 48 kilowatt. And the next stop will be a Lidl for a free charger. Okay, over the weeks and months actually, a lot of people have asked me like, do you like the EV? Do you like it? Do you like that you always have to charge? Now you have to realize that since the horse and the wagon, it's the first time we have a vehicle that you can actually charge at home, so you don't have to go to a gas station. Now, a lot of people here like, okay, we have a range of 200 kilometers, and they really think that you have to go to the gas station or to a charger every 200 kilometers. What they don't realize, it's a little bit like charging your phone. You just charge it overnight and the next morning it's full. And well, research shows that normal people, or most people actually, only drive about 50 to 100 kilometers a day. So that's more than enough with an EV. Now, if you have to charge and you have a system like in the Netherlands, Fastnet, you charge pretty fast. We can get about, let's say 150, 160 kilometers in about 20 minutes. And 20 minutes isn't that much. You just plug in, you go to the restroom, you come back, you can check your email, and actually then you're already done. Now, on a longer journey like this one we did, we actually found that when you have a little bit of a slower charger, you actually can spend about 35, 40 minutes somewhere, and that's a great moment to just work on the vlog, do some editing, answer some emails, and then go back to the car, because those chargers are mostly placed with restaurants or seating areas. So overall, it's a really relaxed way of traveling. The only thing is, it takes a long time, especially with smaller chargers. And well, this kind of travels with an EV is literally not really something you love to do, but it's something that's doable. But when you're at home and you just use your EV for your normal travels, you probably never ever hit a charger. And when you have to travel a little bit further, in all honesty, you're way more relaxed because you have that 20 minutes rest stop every 2 hours. So overall, we still love the EV. Only for trips like this, if the infrastructure isn't good, that's when you run a little bit into trouble and get frustrated. But it's not the car itself, it's more the infrastructure. But of course, those two are connected. So in the future, I just hope that we will have chargers on every single every single gas station. And that's actually where they want to go to. So that every single station that you pass, there will be a charger on one in every two, whatever. But they have to build that up. Okay, stopped at the Lidl and free charging. And I really hope they're gonna do this in every single location, because this is just awesome. 50 kilowatts, so not a slow charger. You can do your groceries. I think from now on, I'm gonna tell Anouk to do her groceries at the Lidl, because you have to support a company like this that thinks green and gives their customers not a slow charger, but a 50 kilowatt charger. So it charges just really, really fast. Love it.
For free.
And it's for free, so yeah. So come on Lidl, we love you.
My circles, I know my name. Another sequel is on the way. Oh, my love, reform and rise to be so free.
And we're back in the Netherlands on our way to Fastnet. Now, in all honesty, I just love Fastnet. They are very fast and they're scattered around in the Netherlands, and you just plug in, no need for dongles or key cards or whatever, and it just registers your car and you get the bill once a month. Everywhere should be a Fastnet. It's awesome. It's like the equivalent
Over
of
800 meter. Neem de afslag rechts.
it's like the equivalent of the superchargers from Tesla. So, on our way to Fastnet.
And it's recognized by number plate?
No, it's recognized by the CSS adapter in your car. So that gives a digital signal,
Neem de
and at
afslag
that
rechts.
point the charger knows it's your car. It starts charging automatically, and if you disconnect, it will send the bill to your home address.
Wow.
Okay, and as you can see, this is a totally different experience from a charger that's just somewhere hidden. So this is Fastnet, and we have a lot of those in the Netherlands, and I hope there will be a lot more, because
Je bestemming bevindt zich aan de rechterkant.
this is really a great experience to charge your car. Okay, and as you can see, Fastnet is actually charging with about 50 kilowatts. There's one thing I have to tell you guys. Now, during this trip, you saw that we encountered a lot of defective chargers. And of course, a lot of people will tell me like, Frank, you knew, right? Because there's an app for that. And indeed, I know there's an app for that. We use PlugShare and we use ChargeMap. But you know that not in all those apps you actually saw that there were chargers defective. Now, some were actually marked as defective, and those of course we didn't visit. But what you also will find in those apps is that sometimes the responses are from, let's say it's now February 25th and it's actually from February 2 or January, so they're not updated daily. And I'm guilty of that too. Before this trip I used the apps, I looked at the apps, but I never actually contributed to the apps. And I think this is where the power lies, and this is also what's very important for EV drivers. Make sure that you use an app and that you actually update the app, because that's how you help the community. And that's how you prevent people to actually encounter chargers that don't work. So from now on, every time I check in at a charger, I will actually check in the app and will let people know if the charger works or not works. And remember that even if a charger works, it's very, very important to let other people know that a charger works, because at one point we just kept checking the reviews, and if we saw that there was only one problem with the charger, I was already nervous. And when we arrived, most of the times the charger worked and sometimes it didn't, and you went like, why isn't it mentioned that today there was a problem with that charger? So use those apps, check in, upload photos, because sometimes the chargers are hard to find, and make sure that you let people know that there are no problems with the charger, or if there are like this pass doesn't work, or it's filthy, or whatever, you know what I mean, right? Use those apps. Now I know it's impossible to use all the apps, of course, but I actually choose for the app called ChargeMap. And that app, it seems to be the largest one and the largest community, so I choose to update that one. So when you're driving an EV and you're in Europe, and I think it also works for the US, I don't know for sure, check out ChargeMap. It's very, very complete, and well, from now on I will update every time I charge. And by the way, that's not that often, because, well, we have a charger at home. Okay guys, we're back home. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please leave comments below, and if you want to know anything about the EV or electric driving or charging, just let me know. And if you have any tips, also let me know. If you like what we do, subscribe to our channel, leave comments below, and of course smash that like button, because we really like that. But most of all, tell other people about our channel so we can grow it. And remember, this is mainly a photography based channel. This is just for fun, and because I absolutely love driving the EV, and of course love thinking about the environment by using solar and the EV. See you again next time. Bye guys.
You gotta help me disappear from all those voices that I fear, and all the moments I can handle, 'cause I'm different.